Hello everybody and welcome back to Brooksburk Zoo. Let's have a look at what we did in the last episode. In the last episode you guys voted for the next animal that we should build for in here, or that I should build here. And this was the Malayan sun bear. So let's have a look at the animals. You can already see the zoo is very crowded. We have lots of people in here. And this time I decided not to walk the way around the okapis or our pig alley, what I call it right now, but we're walking over the grass right through the fields and have a look at our bears. And you can already see one of them is over here on the left side of the habitat, and yeah, he's very busy and running into the shelter. Okay, let's have a look if we can find the other one as well. Yeah, and here he is, moonwalking. Okay, so you guys, if you saw the last episode, you knew about the struggles that I had with the habitat. I'm quite happy with it, how it looks right now. So I think we're going to leave it like this. And today we are going to build in that area. Well, some of you guys told me in the comments from the last video that it would be possible for me, or that it would be okay if I built a habitat for the binturong, so that none of the animals that you didn't choose in the voting should be out completely, so that we actually can build for them. So the plan was to have a habitat here, and that is going to be our first shared habitat. I think the first? Let me think about it. Yeah. It would have been the first habitat that would be a mixed habitat with the binturong, and I thought about the Asian small-clawed otters. That would have been very nice, but then I had a look at the area around here and I was thinking no, because I thought this would block the view too much in here for our guests that were in the restaurant and looking outside of the windows. And as I told you guys in the last episode, I was thinking about something like nilgai antelope, or not antelope, or black buck or something like that. And as you know, we don't have something like that in the game yet. But then I went into the Zoopedia and had a look at what kind of Asian animals that we do have actually. And the last animal, I think it was the last animal in the whole list that I saw, was the wild Asian buffalo, or Asian wild buffalo. No, the wild water buffalo. That's what it is called in English. And I thought, wow, that's the perfect match for this area right here. So I decided to build something for the wild water buffaloes right here. As you could see, I built a wooden fence at first to have some kind of a barrier towards the gibbons, because you know water buffaloes would go into the water and I don't want them to get hurt, because the entry in the water is a little bit steep towards the gibbons. And so I thought, no, we need to have a fence around here. And I also wanted to have something like this wooden fence that I'm building right now, right here for the buffaloes towards our visitors. The fencing here is, it is not very, how should I say that? I'm a little bit tired, guys, so I hope you guys don't mind it when I have difficulties to find the right words sometimes, because I had a rough few days. The fencing is not that special, I would say, but inspiration for this is from the zoo in Augsburg, that is very close to me, that I'm visiting quite often. They have something like this kind of fencing for their European water buffaloes as well. And so I thought this would make sense to have something like this. In the zoo in Augsburg, you can get that close to the buffaloes that you actually can pet them, and yeah, the buffaloes are looking forward to getting pet actually, because they really like it if you scratch them a little bit around the ears and stuff like that, and they are really enjoying it. I don't think that this would be that cool for the wild water buffaloes, because I think they are a little bit more feisty than the European water buffaloes are. Yeah, so I decided to have a second fencing in front of that as well, that you might see in a minute or two, so that our guests can't get too close to the animals. I didn't cut out anything in today's episode because it is quite a small episode. The whole build for this habitat didn't take me that long, and I have to tell you guys that we will get back into the habitat in the next episode, and I tell you why. You will see it in a minute when I'm building the shelter for the buffaloes. I didn't build something like a stable like we have for all the animals that we have right now. So we don't have an actually indoor enclosure for the buffaloes, but only something like a sunshade, which is covered from all sides. Don't get me wrong, but we don't have a proper shelter for the animals. First of all, I thought that would be totally okay, because we don't need to have a proper shelter for every animal here in the zoo, especially when we have something like the buffaloes that are most of the times very okay with any weather that we would have in here. But then I thought, no bake and play, don't get that lazy and do stuff like you said in the last video when you start with your new job, that you don't want to put out a video just for putting out a video. You want to give quality content, and so I thought, okay, let's keep it that way for now, but in the next episode where we are going to build the next habitat, we are going to get back into this here at first and finish the whole thing and give our animals a proper stable. So we're going to keep the shelter that I'm going to build in a few minutes, but we also will have a proper shelter on the right side of the habitat, because we have a little bit of a space, open space right there right now, which I don't want to have another habitat in there, because that's going to be too many habitats too close to each other. So I thought, okay, this would be the perfect place to put the stable, and that's what we're going to do next week. So with that being said, I started my new job, as I told you guys. It's working out pretty okay, I think. Okay, I'm not able to say too much about it yet, because I've been in only for 2 days, and there's not much that happened those 2 days, but I think it's going to turn out fine. I was pretty nervous. I didn't get any sleep the night before I started the new job. I was awake almost the whole time, so yeah, it was very, very stressful. I was very tired when I were in the office, but yeah, but now it's okay. Yeah, but as I said, I had a few rough days and still having a few rough days. I don't know if I told you this anytime. I think I wrote it on my Discord, but I think I never said it in a video. You know about the mental struggles that I have from time to time. I'm pretty much in charge of that, and I'm pretty much okay with that, because I know how I react in different situations, and so I'm pretty much, I can deal with all the stuff. Yeah, I not just suffer from depression, I'm also hypersensitive, which means that I feel things more than many other people, both physical and mental, and this is very stressful in times. And also when I fall in love, or if I take care of someone, it's very difficult for me if something happens to them. And so this is the reason I have a cat, as most of you guys know. I had a few problems with him the last couple of weeks because he went outside. He got into a fight with another cat and got hurt, and so we had to see the vet because he didn't feel very well and he got some injuries, and so the vet had to take care of this. Everything was okay again after a week and a half, I guess. And then last week, I guess it was Wednesday night. No, it was Thursday night. Thursday night he went out in the night again, as he usually does, and he came back pretty soon, which was a little bit weird because most of the times he's out there for an hour or maybe two if the weather is nice. And he came back a few minutes after I let him out, and he was very he behaved very unusual as he came back, because he laid down to sleep close to me in the bed like he always does, but he only laid there for a few minutes. Then he stood up and walked around and went into another place, laid down, laid there for a few minutes, got up again, and so this happened the whole night. And I thought, okay, this is very strange behavior for him. But I didn't think about it further because I thought maybe it's a little bit too hot in here, so he doesn't feel comfortable laying anywhere, and would be okay the night after that. Well, that evening as I came home from the office, I noticed that something wasn't right with him, because he was walking a little bit weird, and he wasn't able to jump, and he also seemed to not be able to stand up sometimes without pain. And so I knew that there was something that was happening again, and so we had to take him to the vet again. And we didn't find out what the problem is. He's just on pain relievers right now. It doesn't get any better, I fear. It's nothing that is life-threatening, fortunately, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, he still has pain, still with those pain relievers, and yeah, that is very hurtful for me as well to see him suffer like this. And that is why I'm having some tough days and nights, because I can't sleep most of the nights because I'm worried about him, and yeah, that's pretty bad. I think many of you guys might be able to relate to that situation when you have pets and you take care of them. It's always like it's always devastating when something happens to them and you are not able to help them or relieve them from their pain. And yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad. And yeah, I hope he's better soon. I think we have to go to the vet tomorrow again and let him have a look at it, and don't know what will happen afterwards. But yeah, let's get back into the video. You can already see I put in a water feature in there, as well with some dirty water, because I thought that would make sense, because in nature you would see those buffaloes in those muddy in this muddy pits, and having a rest in there and taking a bath in the mud to protect themselves from insects and stuff like that. And so I decided to have something like this mud pond in here. Yeah, the last times I always have some difficulties with the traversable area for these animals. So once again I had a little bit of a problem. When I'm going to put down the rocks in here and all of the plants, I had the problem that the buffaloes couldn't walk down the upper area towards the pond and towards the shelter, because one of those rocks was blocking their path. But once I deleted the rock, you will see later on it would turn out okay and the buffaloes would be able to walk down there, which still is a little bit weird. As you can see right now, the rock is not that high or not that steep, and so that the buffaloes wouldn't be able to walk down there, but it is what it is. I fixed it and now everything is okay. Even though the habitat doesn't look that big, it is big enough for our buffaloes. We will have 3 of them in there later on, and yeah, they are quite okay with the space that they have. Even with the water area, that is also pretty much enough for them. So everything turned out fine again. Yeah, and I also didn't want to have that much of plants in here, because as you know, if you have some kind of bovines, cow-like animals in there, you will always see pretty dirty habitats with not much grass, because they would eat the whole grass in there and trample down everything else that is in here. So I decided to not have too much plants in here. Those little grass pieces almost in between the rocks. So I thought this would make sense, because the animals wouldn't be able to come too close there to eat it completely. And so I put almost all of those grass pieces right there where the rocks were, so that we have a green habitat but not overly green, so that in the end it would make sense. Yeah, some more bushes. And then I think we are going on with some trees. I also put down these pieces here for the first time, because we got that with the Twilight DLC and I thought that is pretty ugly and I don't know where to use them. But here in this habitat it totally made sense to put it down there, and I think it looks quite nice. Yeah, I put down some trees and also the tree protection. The tree protection not because for the same reasons that we had for other animals that would feed on the bark of the trees, but those buffaloes would rub against the trees and damage the bark of the trees, or rub their horns against it. So therefore we have the protection that nothing would damage those trees or destroy those trees. I also wanted to not have too much of the trees in here, just a little bit to give their whole habitat a little bit of shade, but not too much, so that you can still see the animals in perfect lighting. Get a little more grass outside the whole habitat. And I'm pretty happy with how the whole habitat looks. It's pretty simple made, and Still, I think it has something very, very special, and it is definitely one of my favorite habitats in this zoo. Because I also do like the view when you stand in front of it and look inside the habitat for the animals, and you have our beautiful Brooksburk barn restaurant in the background. I think that matches very, very well. Just a few more grass pieces in here and there. Little coloring. Let's give it a little bit of a green. And I think we are done. Just putting some plants in the planter here as well. And as I said, this is also going to be the space where we are going to put the stable in the next episode. And maybe we are going to have the mixed habitat in the next episode as well. So there's going to be a binturong and Asian small-clawed otter habitat in the next episode. Unless you guys have a different idea or a better idea, then let me know in the comment section. I will be happy to think about it or make it happen. Yeah, just putting the invisible barriers right here. I had a little bit of a struggle because performance-wise, as closer I got towards the restaurant, I got a few lags in here and there. So a little performance problem. But as soon as I left the area for the restaurant, everything was okay again. So I think we're going to be okay for a few more episodes. I hope so. Okay, just putting some animal enrichment in here. And yeah, I'm not quite sure right now on which side. No, I am actually quite sure of which side we're going to build the next habitat, because I already told you guys that we are going to have the stable on the right side of the buffalo habitat, and we are not going to have any habitat on that side of the path again. So there's only one side left. I don't know if we are going to have 2 more habitats before we come back to the main path, or if we are going to have just 1 more habitat, but yeah, we will see. You already can see I also connected the path to the main path, so now our guests won't be stuck anywhere, so they can walk all around the Brooksburk barn, and hopefully this will end up with not having that many people stuck where all of our pigs are right now. Yeah, this time we're going to fly to our new habitat and go back in explore mode, and let's have a look at what we've done today. As I told you guys, this is a very short episode because it went pretty fast till I finished it. Oh my god, so many people in here. This is awful. Awful or awesome? Well, I guess kind of both. Okay, so guys, we are at the end of the episode already. I hope you guys did enjoy it, even if it was not that kind of special. I hope you liked it. If you did so, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't want to miss the next episode in next week, where we are going to build for binturongs and small-clawed otters, and also build the stable for our wild water buffaloes. And yeah, leave a comment what you think about the whole idea of the zoo and what we are going to continue it with. And hope to see you guys in the next episode next Monday, hopefully. Take care and bye.